aboard, friends, all aboard. That is what I'm getting from this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, the last of 3 in Capricorn. Wow, you guys, what a journey. When you have Pluto and Jupiter, maybe I'm evoking more of the Jupiter side of it right now, but it is just such a journey. And the depth that we all went to. I mean, it really is. The astrology of 2020 has been so on the nose, and I think for a reason to wake us all up to our polarity, to how we feed the polarity, and to how much it is needed that we wake up all together now. I think before, these portals and these have been more individually tailored, and we've been wakening up individually on different not all together to this mass, but these massive events that have happened this year are really just, they all kind of coincide with the Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions, and they were really all just giant wake-up calls. And it was really when you think of, this is now evoking the Plutonian aspect, or the Plutonian traits, but the first Pluto-Jupiter conjunction, which happened right around the start of the pandemic, or when we all realized what level this was going to be, it was this funeral. It was not even a funeral, sorry, it was a death. It was that moment of death. And then the Pluto-Jupiter conjunction in July was when both planets are retrograde, and it was distress, and it was complete grieving, and also I think disbelief was part of that. And then finally, I think this Pluto-Jupiter conjunction is the philosophical reawakening, and it's the moment of celebrating a person's life, so it is, I guess this would be the funeral moment. This is the moment where we can celebrate the things, the life and death journey of this year. And I don't want to say, I don't mean that lightly. I know for many people that's literal, and for many people it may not be, but it has this year has been such a preparation for this onward journey. And look within yourself today. The Jupiter really invites a philosophical discussion, but understand what you gained from this. And again, Jupiter also invites a positive lens on these experiences, and even the experiences of death, even the experiences of transformation. Think about the power you've gained from this year. Think about the power that you've brought in. Think about, maybe you took power back. I think when we are dependent, especially Saturn was so close to these aspects earlier, it's we saw where dependency was, where our power was dependent from. And with Saturn moving on its way into Aquarius, it's still somewhat close, I think or before 5 degrees of Jupiter and Pluto, but it will not come back. It's not going to retrograde, it's not going to come back here. It is moving on to its new journey. And so this Pluto-Jupiter conjunction, we can sit with it and understand, outside of the system that we quote-unquote depend on, we can understand where our real power comes from. It doesn't really come from that. We give a lot of that. We give so much power to that system. But where is our source of power? Where is our source of true self? I ask you to discover it for yourself. It's a sacred moment. Jupiter conjunct Pluto, especially this one out of the 3, is a sacred, solemn moment. It really is the vibe of where you are still sad that you lost someone, but you're celebrating their life. You're celebrating the moment. And it is solemn, and it is somber, but it is also filled with joy. And it is that promise of resurrection, that promise of renewal, and that's Jupiter and Pluto. Take some time today to acknowledge the power dynamics in your life, and to acknowledge what you have birthed this year, and what has passed, what no longer has the same meaning or level of importance that it did at the beginning of the year. And take this moment to just recognize we're all on board on this journey. And as polarized as the world seems, it is weirdly just we're I don't know, it doesn't make sense, but it's almost like we are so divided so that we can recognize the importance of being united. You have to be divided to understand why uniting is so crucial to everything. So as we see things break and fissure, we also can see the opportunities to unify, and that goes for our own personal selves of like our soul, and goes for the greater world. So all on board, people. Let's get up on it. This is the time to board your flight, your train, whatever vehicle, your unicorn. Sending love to you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.